Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Sam Neill, a life in film, grace and discovery. Sam Neill, born Nigel John Dermot Neill on September 14, 1947, in Omagh, Northern Ireland, is one of cinema's most enduring and versatile actors. Best known to audiences worldwide for his role as Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park, 1993, and its sequels, Neill's career spans over 5 decades and crosses genres, continents, and artistic mediums. His quiet intensity, intelligence, and natural warmth have made him a distinctive presence in both blockbuster and independent films. Early life and education. Though born in Northern Ireland, Neill's family moved to New Zealand when he was a child, and it is there that he was raised. His father was an army officer, and Sam spent his formative years in the city of Dunedin. He attended Christ's College in Christchurch and later studied English literature at the University of Canterbury and Victoria University of Wellington, where he developed an interest in drama and storytelling. Neill overcame a childhood stutter, a personal challenge that perhaps later contributed to the thoughtful pauses and quiet control that became hallmarks of his acting style. Early career and breakthrough. Neill began his acting career in New Zealand's film and theatre scene during the 1970s. His first significant role came in the 1977 New Zealand film Sleeping Dogs, a political thriller that gained international attention. This performance caught the eye of British and Australian filmmakers, paving the way for his next big break, the leading role in My Brilliant Career, 1979, opposite Judy Davis. The success of My Brilliant Career established Neill as a serious and compelling actor. Soon after, he starred in the romantic drama A Cry in the Dark, 1988, alongside Meryl Streep, playing Michael Chamberlain, a role that earned him international critical acclaim for his emotional restraint and realism. International fame. Jurassic Park and beyond. Neill's global fame came with Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park, 1993, where he portrayed paleontologist Drive Alan Grant, a man whose awe and fear of dinosaurs mirrored the audience's own. His subtle, grounded performance gave the film its emotional center amid the spectacle. He reprised the role in Jurassic Park III, 2001, and later returned for Jurassic World Dominion 2022, delighting fans with his timeless charm and wisdom. Throughout the 1990s, Neill also starred in an impressive range of films, including The Hunt for Red October, 1990, The Piano, 1993, directed by Jane Campion. Event Horizon, 1997. A cult sci-fi horror In the Mouth of Madness, 1994, a John Carpenter psychological thriller. His versatility allowed him to seamlessly move between Hollywood blockbusters, independent cinema, and European art films, television and later work beyond film. Neill has been a powerful presence on television. He starred in historical and political miniseries such as Riley, Ace of Spies, 1983, The Tudors, 2007-2010, and Peaky Blinders, 2013-2014, where his portrayal of the calculating Inspector Chester Campbell earned widespread praise. In more recent years, Neill has continued to work prolifically, often choosing roles that reflect his wit and humanity, such as in Hunt for the Wilderpeople, 2016, a New Zealand comedy drama that became a global hit. His performance as the gruff but lovable Uncle Heck was widely regarded as one of the finest of his later career. Personal life and other pursuits away from acting. Sam Neill is a passionate winemaker and farmer. He owns 2 paddocks, a vineyard in central Otago, New Zealand, which produces acclaimed Pinot Noir wines. His social media presence, filled with humor, animals, and glimpses of rural life, has made him a beloved figure beyond the screen. Neill has been open about his reflections on life, aging, and gratitude. especially after publicly sharing his battle with cancer in 2023. He approached his illness with the same grace and humility that have long defined his public persona, reminding fans to cherish joy and simplicity. Legacy. Sam Neill's career is a testament to longevity built on integrity, curiosity, and authenticity. Whether as a scientist facing resurrected dinosaurs, a stoic sea captain, or a tender-hearted farmer, he brings a rare intelligence and humanity to every role. For Neill, acting has always been about connection, to story, to emotion, and to others. As he once said, "I've been lucky to do what I love for a living. The work has never felt like work, it's been a great adventure." A deeper look. Sam Neill's philosophy and artistic identity. Sam Neill has always been something of a quiet rebel in the film industry, an actor uninterested in fame for fame's sake. Unlike many of his contemporaries, he has consciously avoided Hollywood's celebrity trappings, preferring authenticity, humor, and humility over spectacle. This attitude has defined not only his career choices but also the way he's perceived, as one of the most grounded and genuinely likable figures in cinema. In interviews, Neill often emphasizes gratitude and perspective. He has described acting as a wonderful way to spend a life, yet he is equally comfortable stepping away from it to tend his vineyards or spend time with his animals. "I'm not sure what success is," he once mused, "but I know that peace of mind is worth more than any red carpet." This understated wisdom, equal parts wit and philosophy, has endeared him to both colleagues and fans. He brings to his performances an emotional intelligence that feels lived in, as if drawn from observation rather than technique. Whether playing a weary detective, a skeptical scientist, or a heartbroken lover, Neill conveys a deep empathy that transcends words. Champion of New Zealand cinema. Sam Neill has long been a vocal advocate for New Zealand's film industry, which he helped place on the international map. After his early success with Sleeping Dogs, he became a symbol of the potential for New Zealand actors to achieve global recognition without losing their roots. His collaborations with directors such as Jane Campion, Taika Waititi, and Roger Donaldson highlight his enduring connection to his homeland's creative community. Neill's participation in The Piano, 1993, which won the Palme d'Or and multiple Oscars, remains one of the high points of New Zealand cinema. Decades later, Hunt for the Wilderpeople, 2016, reaffirmed that bond, introducing him to a new generation of fans while showcasing the charm and humor of Kiwi storytelling. Neill has often said that he considers himself a New Zealand actor who sometimes works abroad, rather than a Hollywood star who occasionally returns home. This perspective reflects both loyalty and humility, qualities that define his identity as an artist. Personal life and character. Sam Neill's personal life has been as diverse and thoughtful as his career. He was previously married to makeup artist Noriko Watanabe, with whom he shares a daughter, Elena Neill. He also has a son, Tim Neill, from an earlier relationship. His children and grandchildren are central to his sense of fulfillment. What makes Neill so beloved off-screen is his approachability. Through social media, he offers glimpses into a life of simplicity, tending vines, feeding animals, sharing jokes, and playing ukulele. His posts about his pigs, ducks, and sheep are infused with humor and warmth, and his followers find in them a rare sincerity from a film star. This playful side balances his introspective nature. In his memoir, Did I Ever Tell You This? 2023, Neill shares not just anecdotes from his long career, but reflections on mortality, joy, and the small moments that give life meaning. The book, written after his cancer diagnosis, reveals a man who views life with both wonder and acceptance. "I'm not afraid of dying," he wrote, "but I'd hate to stop living." A master of subtlety, critics often praise Sam Neill's understated acting style, which stands in contrast to the more flamboyant performances of many of his peers. He's a master of nuance, of saying much with little. His ability to communicate emotion through restraint rather than display has made him particularly effective in complex, morally ambiguous roles. From the haunted John Trent in the Mouth of Madness to the conflicted husband in The Piano, Neill's characters often exist on the edge between reason and madness, love and loss. His performances feel human because they're never showy, instead, they invite empathy and reflection. As director Jane Campion once said of him, Sam brings a quiet gravity. You feel safe when he's on screen, and yet, he can surprise you with how deeply he makes you feel. Legacy and influence today. Sam Neill is more than just a celebrated actor, he's a symbol of endurance, kindness, and artistic integrity. His legacy lies not only in the films he's made but in the way he's lived, thoughtfully, modestly, and with deep affection for the world around him. Younger actors in New Zealand and beyond often cite him as a role model for how to build a meaningful career without losing one's soul. Directors love working with him for his professionalism, subtle humor, and unforced intelligence. As he continues to act, write, and care for his vineyard, Neill remains a living example of balance. A man who found a way to thrive in the unpredictable world of film while keeping both feet firmly planted on the earth. I've never thought of myself as a star, he once said. I'm just someone lucky enough to tell stories for a living, and to go home to a beautiful bit of New Zealand when the story's done. Memorable film roles. A journey through Sam Neill's cinematic evolution over the decades, Sam Neill has built a body of work defined by diversity, from sensitive dramas to psychological thrillers. From sweeping historical epics to quiet comedies. Each role he's chosen reflects a curiosity about human nature and a willingness to explore complexity rather than comfort. Below are some of his most significant and career-defining performances. 1. Sleeping Dogs, 1977. Neill's breakout role in Sleeping Dogs marked the arrival of New Zealand cinema on the international stage. Playing a man wrongly accused of treason and forced into violent rebellion, Neill displayed a brooding intensity that captured the turbulence of the time. The film's success not only launched his career but also signaled a new era for New Zealand filmmaking, raw, political, and emotionally charged. 2. My Brilliant Career, 1979, opposite Judy Davis. Neill portrayed Harry Beecham, a man both fascinated and frustrated by an independent woman ahead of her time. His performance was elegant, understated, and tinged with melancholy, a perfect foil to Davis's fiery ambition. The film earned critical acclaim and solidified Neill's reputation as a thoughtful romantic lead capable of emotional depth without melodrama. 3. Possession, 1981, in one of his most haunting roles. Neill starred opposite Isabelle Adjani in Andrei Zulawski's Possession, a feverish psychological horror set in Berlin. The film, both surreal and unsettling, pushed Neill to his emotional limits. His portrayal of a husband unraveling amid madness and metaphysical terror remains one of the boldest and most intense performances of his career, a true cult classic that still fascinates cinephiles today. 4. A Cry in the Dark, 1988, reuniting with director Fred Schepisi and co-starring Meryl Streep, Neill portrayed Michael Chamberlain, the husband of a woman accused of murdering their baby, a true story that gripped Australia. While Streep's portrayal earned the most attention, Neill's quiet restraint and emotional truth grounded the film. His performance captured the anguish of a man vilified by public opinion, and his empathy made the story all the more human. 5. The Hunt for Red October, 1990. In this Cold War submarine thriller, Neill played Captain Vasily Borodin, the loyal second-in-command to Sean Connery's defecting Soviet captain. Though a supporting role, Neill imbued Borodin with poignancy, particularly in a brief, touching scene where he dreams of living in Montana. His death near the film's end is remembered as one of its most moving moments, elevating a military thriller into something deeply personal. 6. The Piano, 1993, in Jane Campion's The Piano. Neill took on one of his most morally complex roles as Alasdair Stewart, a repressed settler whose jealousy and possessiveness drive the film's tragic tension. Against Holly Hunter and Harvey Keitel, Neill portrayed both cruelty and vulnerability, creating a deeply human antagonist. His nuanced performance made Alasdair neither villain nor victim, but something painfully, recognizably in between. 7. Jurassic Park, 1993, as Dr. Alan Grant, Neill achieved global stardom. His portrayal of the brilliant yet emotionally reserved paleontologist gave Jurassic Park its soul. Amid groundbreaking visual effects, Neill's human reaction, awe, fear, and ultimately compassion, grounded the film's sense of wonder. His chemistry with Laura Dern and his subtle transformation from skeptic to protector made him one of cinema's most beloved adventure heroes. He returned to the role in Jurassic Park III, 2001, and later in Jurassic World: Dominion, 2022, embodying the rare kind of nostalgia that feels earned rather than forced. 8. In the Mouth of Madness, 1994, Neill's turn in John Carpenter's Lovecraft-inspired horror remains one of his most iconic performances. As John Trent, an insurance investigator who descends into madness while searching for a missing author, Neill explored the thin line between reality and delusion. His slow psychological breakdown, portrayed with precision and control, turned the film into a metaphysical nightmare, one that cemented his reputation as a master of restrained terror. 9. Event Horizon, 1997. In this cult science fiction horror, Neill played Dr. William Weir, a scientist whose obsession with his creation leads him into the abyss, both literally and spiritually. The film, though divisive upon release, has since become a genre classic, with Neill's performance standing out for its eerie conviction and tragic intensity. His transformation from grieving husband to vessel of cosmic evil remains unforgettable. 10. Hunt for the Wilderpeople, 2016. A late career triumph, Taika Waititi's Hunt for the Wilderpeople allowed Neill to showcase his comedic and emotional range. As the gruff but ultimately tender-hearted Uncle Heck, Neill created one of his most lovable characters, a loner who finds family and purpose in the wilderness. The film's humor, heart, and Kiwi spirit perfectly suited Neill's natural charm and timing, earning him new generations of admirers. Themes and character types across genres and decades, Neill's characters often share common traits: introspection, restraint, and a quiet inner conflict. He excels at playing men in transition, scientists confronting chaos, husbands struggling with morality, loners rediscovering empathy. He's drawn to stories that question reason, identity, and the thin veneer of civilization, themes reflected in both his horror and drama work. Unlike actors who rely on bravado or eccentricity, Neill's strength lies in understatement. His characters rarely shout, they think, feel, and unravel quietly, which makes their struggles all the more believable. Recognition and honors over his career. Sam Neill has received numerous accolades, including Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, in 1991 for services to acting. New Zealand Order of Merit, ONZM, in 2022. Multiple awards from the Australian Film Institute, New Zealand Film Awards, and international film festivals. Despite his global fame, Neill has always valued his reputation for integrity over trophies, remarking that the real reward is the work itself, and the friendships that come from it. Conclusion. The essence of Sam Neill's journey from a young New Zealand actor to an international star is not just a story of success, but one of authenticity and endurance. He has navigated fame without losing humility, chosen art over ambition, and lived his life with humor, purpose, and grace. He remains, in every sense, an actor of depth, one who understands that storytelling isn't about performance alone, but about empathy, truth, and connection. Whether exploring the vastness of prehistoric wonder or the quiet corners of the human soul, Sam Neill has given audiences something rare, the feeling that behind every character is a real, searching heart. Life beyond the screen. Sam Neill's two paddocks and his philosophy of living well. If Sam Neill's film career defines his public image, his life in Central Otago, New Zealand, defines his soul. Away from Hollywood's lights and red carpets, Neill has built a world of peace, humor, and grounded simplicity, one centered around his vineyard, two paddocks, and his deep love of nature, animals, and community. The birth of two paddocks in 1993, just as Jurassic Park was turning him into a global star. Neill quietly purchased a small vineyard in Gibston Valley, Central Otago, a region fast becoming known for its cool climate wines. What began as a modest side project has since blossomed into a highly regarded, family-run wine label producing world-class Pinot Noir. He named it Two Paddocks after the original two small vineyard plots he owned, though it has since expanded into several properties. True to his personality, Neill doesn't approach winemaking as a business venture, but as an act of love. "It's not about making money," he once said. "It's about making something beautiful, and being able to share it with friends." Today, Two Paddocks wines are known for their elegance, depth, and connection to the land, much like Neill himself. The brand embodies his humor and authenticity. Its labels often feature whimsical artwork and self-deprecating humor, with Neill affectionately calling himself the proprietor and occasional tractor driver. A vineyard full of life. Neill's vineyard is more than a place of production, it's a sanctuary. He keeps a menagerie of animals: pigs, ducks, sheep, cows, alpacas, donkeys, and even miniature horses, each with their own names and personalities. On social media, he often posts charming updates about them, referring to them as his co-stars or staff. His affection for animals reveals his larger worldview, one centered on respect for life and the natural order. He often jokes that his animals are better company than humans, but beneath the humor is a sincere appreciation for the simplicity and honesty of nature. "Animals don't pretend," he once said. "They don't lie, and they don't care about your fame. They just want a bit of kindness, and so do I." Social media and a gentle digital presence. Unlike many celebrities who use social media for promotion, Neill uses it as an extension of his kindness and curiosity. His Twitter and Instagram accounts are filled not with self-promotion but with small, poetic glimpses of rural life: a newborn lamb, a glass of Pinot at sunset, a joke about a stubborn sheep. During the pandemic, his posts became a source of comfort to thousands. As the world slowed down, Neill shared snippets of his daily life, playing the ukulele, reading poetry, or jokingly introducing his animals as actors in short sketches. Fans found solace in his blend of warmth and humor. "If I can make someone smile for a moment," he said, "that's enough." Reflections on mortality and meaning. When Neill publicly revealed his non-Hodgkin lymphoma diagnosis in 2023, the world responded with concern and admiration. He continued to work and write through treatment, refusing to let illness define him. His memoir, Did I Ever Tell You This?,
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.